Hey everyone. Today's topic, non-reactivity. You know how people often talk about like the height of personal development being non-reactivity, where you're able to meditate enough and work on yourself enough that you don't really react to external stimuli, meaning you don't get triggered, you don't get easily offended. It takes a lot for people to upset you and that sort of thing. Basically, it's like the height of emotional regulation and maturity, or so it seems. I want to discuss this because I do agree that non-reactivity is definitely something most people should aspire to acquire, but I have thought about this subject a bit more, and like many other things in life, I've come to realize it's nuanced, and non-reactivity may not always be the height of personal development, the height of emotional maturity, because there are situations where it's actually better for you to react to things that are happening, to external stimuli. There are some times where it's actually the right thing to do to act on your emotions instead of acting like you don't feel them at all and being so good at managing them that you don't really ever act on them. For instance, a good example of this would be when you're responding to injustice or sometimes even bullying. I would say those situations probably deserve a response, a reaction, and having that non-reactive way of condoning yourself may not always be helpful in those situations, because then you could let bad things happen to good people and just stand idly by because you've taken a stance of not reacting to things and not letting things get to you. And I wouldn't say that that's right. So for those of you who don't quite follow what I'm saying, because I do realize this is kind of something difficult to describe, think about like those Tibetan monks and whatnot. They basically spend most of their lives meditating, so they come off like they might as well be emotionless, right? They don't really react to many external stimuli at all because they've meditated so much, they've been able to completely control their reaction to their emotions. And in that way, they're basically non-reactive. And that is, as I said earlier, that is something many people should work towards. But I don't know if we should aim to be 100% non-reactive, where we never let things get to us, we never have reactions to things, we always have our emotions 100% under control. Well, that one is different. You probably do want to have your emotions under control. You just need to know when it's actually beneficial to actually act on them, because some situations will call for that. I was having a discussion with one of my closest friends, I think within like the last week or so, and we were discussing how so much of life is nuance. And I've really made a point to try to convey that in my videos, because I don't want to present these black or white ways of dealing with situations or even life in general, because they hardly ever hold up. And I feel like this is another situation where it's a lot of gray. While being non-reactive is certainly a noble thing to reach for, it can be a bit unrealistic for many people. But beyond that, I'm not quite sure we want to be 100% non-reactive. Because if you were to be that 100% non-reactive person, that would mean not even really letting it get to you if you see something horrible happen to someone you care about. That's not good. Like, sure, that would be completely mastering your emotions, but that's not good. If something bad is happening to someone you care about, I would hope you would step in and help them. And that's what most people would do. But for people who view non-reactivity as the height of human accomplishment when it comes to managing your emotions and personal development and that sort of thing, I just don't believe it's good to hit that point, to be like those Tibetan monks. And I don't know exactly how they would react in situations like this where a loved one is in danger or whatever. I don't know. I haven't studied them enough, and I don't know any of them personally, so I can't speak to that. I don't know if they would take that non-reactive route 100% of the time. I don't know. To me, this mentality almost comes off like you're, in a way, like rejecting your humanity, because humans are a part of, how do I put it? Emotions are a part of being human. We all are naturally going to feel our emotions. The important thing is being able to have them under control, so that way you aren't constantly acting on them. But I don't think getting to a place where you're completely non-reactive is actually healthy, because it really is like turning against your humanity, choosing to just shut off your emotions or have them so well controlled that you never act on them, which basically means like you'll come off emotionless to others. I don't know if we should strive for that. So I can't imagine many people out there even view non-reactivity in the light that I'm kind of painting it here as it being like the epitome to reach for. But I have seen a lot of people say that like you shouldn't let traffic get to you, or you shouldn't let bullying get to you, you shouldn't let bad people get to you, which is true for the most part. You probably don't want those people to get to you because they're bad people. Like it sucks to let bad people get us down so much because they don't care about how we feel. So letting them get to us sucks. Like it hurts us and they don't give two shites about it. So in a way, it's like hurting ourselves over people who are apathetic towards the way we feel. Like it's messed up. So I would argue for the most part, yeah, you probably don't want to let them get to you. But I'm not so sure that having that non-reactive response is always the best route to take. Because if you were, going back to the analogy of bullying, if you did have a bully and you never reacted to what they did, that wouldn't make them stop. I mean, maybe for some of them it would. Maybe, because maybe they'd get bored. They see like you never have a reaction to what they do. So like, okay, I'm going to spend my time and energy on someone who is more entertaining. But sometimes a bully will just see that as you enabling their behavior. So they'll just keep picking on you and treating you like crap. And even though you have no reaction to what they do, they're not going to stop over it. So I would say there are situations where you want to react. Sometimes a bully deserves to get smacked in the face because it trains them to stop being a dick to other people. It helps them become better, right? Sometimes people need that because their parents were so horrible or weren't even around that they just don't know how to conduct themselves as anything resembling a good human being. So they need someone to come along and just point them in the right direction, sometimes using, less than peaceful methods. But sometimes this is maybe not the right thing to do. Well, sometimes it actually is, as again, it's nuanced, but sometimes it's worthwhile to not go that non-reactive route, because in a way, the way you react to things can actually help ensure that other people aren't going to be treated poorly by someone going forward. So yeah, this whole video is basically just me exploring this concept. So I just wanted to share my thoughts on this topic because I do find it rather interesting, and I have seen a lot of people on the internet and out and about and whatnot talking about like just not letting things get to you, being non-reactive when it comes to bullying and other things. But I just really find it strange to take that stance when injustices are being presented and someone is being taken advantage of by a bad person or even physically or emotionally abused by them. Like, why would I stand idly by and be non-reactive when I could do something about that? Yeah, so I don't know here. Let me know your thoughts on this subject. It is a very nuanced topic, but I would love to hear what you guys have to say because that's pretty much my thoughts on it. I've got nothing further to add. But anyway, I truly hope you I hope you enjoyed this exploration of this topic, and if you like content like this, be sure to subscribe for more. Otherwise, the easiest way you can help me out is just to throw a like and a comment on the video for the algorithm. Definitely let me know your thoughts on this topic because this is like me just exploring it. I don't really have any definitive things to say here, so I would love to see what you guys have to say about this as well. But anyway, that's pretty much all I have for you. I'll see you guys in the next video. Arrivederci!